Morning, my dear children. Hope you all are safe and sound. So, today we will learn the next poem of your textbook, First Flight. Through this video, we will discuss the poem, about the poet, new words, summary, and message of the poem. Please copy down the poem into your notebook. So, let us start with the poem. The name of the poem is Fire and Ice, written by Robert Frost. So Robert Frost, we have already discussed about him in the last week when we studied Dust of Snow. So we'll just go through Robert Frost. He was born on 1874, died on 1963. He has won 4 Pulitzer Prizes and is most known for his poem that describe life in the countryside of New England. And he is also known as nature poet. So let's go to the poem. Before moving on to the poem, first we will discuss about the importance of the title in this poem. This is a symbolic poem. Robert Frost has written this as a symbolic poem. 2 words with the opposite meaning are used to represent the 2 most destructive human emotions. The name or the title of the poem is Fire and Ice, the 2 opposite words. And fire here represents uncontrollable and unending desire, and whereas ice represents hatred. This uncontrollable and unending desire means a strong feeling of wanting to have something. It can be money, love, position, passion, anything. And hatred can make a person heartless, insensitive, and cruel. So by using these 2 words, poet tries to tell us that these 2 destructive emotions, desire and hate, if not controlled properly, can lead to the destruction of the whole world. So we'll move on so let us take a look at the poem. Fire and Ice. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to know that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So the poem starts by portraying the disagreement in the general society about how the world will end. So it is a disagreement that we can see in the general society, how the world is going to end. So let us take a look at the first 4 lines. Some say means some people say that the world will end in fire. So some people believe that the world will end in fire. So the world will end because of that desire, which is unending and uncontrolled desire. And the other group of people believe that this will end by ice or hatred among men. The next 2 lines tells us about the opinion of the poet. So he is telling that from what I have tasted. Tasted here means what he have experienced or what he has experienced. So from what his experience, we can understand that he favors desire. So from what he has experienced, he agrees with, I hold with those. So I agree with those people who favor, who support fire. The poet has his own experience by telling that desire can be the cause of the world to end. So hope you have understood the first 4 lines. So let's move to the next stanza. But if it had to perish twice. So but again the poet is telling that if the world has to perish twice, or perish means die or destroy, the world had to end twice. He says that I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great. So he is telling that if it has to perish twice or 2 times, hatred among people is enough, just like desire. to bring the destruction of the world, and it is sufficient enough to end the world. Suffice means sufficient. So I's hatred among people, or it can lead to a man, it can make a man cruel, and that can lead to the end of the world. So this is the main message of the poem. The two emotions, hatred and desire, can make the world to an end if it is uncontrolled. So let us take a look at the word meanings. Tasted, experienced. Desire means a strong feeling of wanting to have something. Favor, support. Perish means destroy or die. Suffice, sufficient. So my dear children, next we will look up the literary devices or the poetic devices of this poem. The first one is rhyme scheme. As you can see, the colored words or the end words of each line, fire, desire, fire, has the same rhyming sound, so we have given it a A. Second one, ice, twice, ice, suffice, rhymes with each other, so we have given a B. And hate and great rhymes with each other, so we have given a C. The rhyming scheme of this poem is A, B, A, B, C, B, C, and B. The next one is symbolism, or it's also known as extended metaphor. So symbolism is the use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities. I have already told you this is a symbolic poem. So this poetic device is important. So here fire symbolizes desire and ice symbolizes hatred. The next poetic device is antithesis. Antithesis means use of contrasting concepts, words or sentences to bring out the ideas in the poem. So here the poet has used two contrasting concepts, that is fire and ice, to bring out his idea about the destruction of the world. So that there comes antithesis. The next one is repetition. The repetition means repeating of same words or phrases a few times to make the ideas clear. Here as you can see, poet has used some say repeatedly to make clear that there is a disagreement between the people about how the world will end. Next one is alliteration. Alliteration means repeating of the same consonant sound in the nearby words. As you can see, some say, sir sound is repeated, world will, were sound is repeated, favor fire, first sound is repeated. Next one is enchantment. We have already discussed enchantment in the last class also, when the same sentence continues to the next line without any punctuation mark. As you can see in this poem, I think enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. So it is continuing to the next line without any punctuation marks like comma, full stop or nothing, has the same meaning too. So here comes in this line, it comes, the poetic device used is enjambment. The next one is irony. Irony is that poetic device which is used in such a way that their intended meaning is different from actual meaning. So the actual meaning will be different, but the poet which has used it will be different. There will be an opposite of the actual meaning and the intended meaning in the poem. In this poem, the poet has said that it is suffice or it is sufficient. We all know that something which is sufficient cannot cause any harm or destruction. Something, when we say that it is sufficient, that means we are complete. But here poet has used the word suffice or sufficient to show the cause of destruction. So the actual meaning of sufficient is different from the poet's intended meaning. Now just let us take a look at the summary. You can note down the summary into your poem, into your notebook. And the message of the poem, and we know that every literary piece or every poem and every piece of literature, there is a value that we have to inculcate in our life. And here also we have a message of the poem. The poet is giving us a message to our life. The poet wants to make the humanity understand that everything will end one day as a result of human misdeeds. So one must control our desires and love our fellow beings. It is said that if we don't have any control over our emotions, it will lead to destruction. That is what poet wants us to understand through this poem. Next are 5 questions that you have to answer it in your notebook with the help of the explanation of the poem, the summary and the message.